the Canon EF 16-35mm f2.8 L lens. Now I think there's 3 different versions of this lens. The one I have right here is the first generation, which is honestly the one I recommend for the Canon M50 because it's the cheapest version and you're really not going to notice a whole lot of difference. You know, especially with kind of a more budget camera. If you're planning on upgrading and you want to be, you know, professional, you want to have the sharpest, best quality 16-35 lens, you could always go for the third version, which is really expensive, but obviously it's going to be the best version of it. But honestly, I'd recommend this first version that I use right here. Before I talk about that, right now I'm at 35mm and I'm using the Viltrox Speed Booster like I will with all these lenses, so I'm going to stop bringing it up. But the Viltrox Speed Booster makes this about a full frame equivalent. So right now I'm at 35mm and it's about an arm's length away from me. I'm going to go ahead and zoom up to 16 just to show you how wide this lens gets. There we go. This is 16mm. So this is the exact spot I was just at, and now I'm like a speck in the middle of the screen. So this lens gets super wide, which obviously is great if you're looking for a really wide lens. This gets a lot wider than the 24-105mm that I talked about previously. And obviously the whole focal range is wider than the 50mm lens I just talked about. So if you're looking for a wide angle lens, this one's great. Now there is another wide angle lens I'm talking about in a minute, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in wide angle lenses, because I might recommend the other one over this depending on your situation. I'm going to zoom into 35mm again. There we go. So the EF 16-35mm f2.8 lens. So if you have kind of a bigger-ish budget and you're looking for a lens to vlog with, or do real estate photography or videos, really any case that you'd need a really wide lens with a fast aperture, this lens right here will be perfect for you, especially since it's an f2.8 aperture. It's going to be super good in low light conditions and it's still going to provide a pretty good shallow depth of field, which you can still see right here. Even though it's a pretty wide lens, f2.8 gives you a nice shallow depth of field, which is super awesome. So if you have the Speed Booster, this is going to be obviously pretty much a 16-35mm lens. But if you don't have a Speed Booster and you just have a regular adapter from EF to EOS M lenses, this won't be an ultra wide lens. This will be more of just a wide lens because it'll be approximately 30 to 55mm. So more of a mid-range zoom lens, which is also actually super good even without a Speed Booster, because a nice mid-range lens like this super great for pretty much any sort of street photography or anything like that. But obviously, like all these lenses, I'd recommend using the Speed Booster. It just brings everything to the next level, and this becomes an ultra wide lens again, like it was always meant to be. So for price, this lens I picked up used for about $350. Now I got a stupid steal on it because even used, this lens on average sells for closer to $500 to $600, and I believe it's a little more than that new. So this isn't a cheap lens at all. But like I said, this is Canon's L series lens. It's an f2.8 constant aperture. The build quality is fantastic. It has a weather sealing gasket. It's really just an all around amazing lens. I don't know, I don't know if I have much bad to say about this lens either. I mean, the f2.8 aperture is super amazing. You know, you really can't ask for more than that on such a wide lens like this. It's also not even a super huge lens. It's a little smaller and lighter than the 24-105mm. So either way, that wraps up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope this helped you out. If it did, go down and drop a like and feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I hope you have a good morning or afternoon or night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll catch you in the next video.